why it's a governmental duty. I'd like to point out to you that this point is completely predicated on them actually proving that their policy works, and actually proving that there is in fact recovery that comes out of these bailouts. If there is no recovery and the government is in fact squandering money away, which is what my substantive is going to be about, then we think that the government role falls on our side of the debate, because here the government is misusing taxpayers' money at the end of the day. So it's not, so basically the taxpayers' argument will go to whichever side that can prove a more effective solution to global economic recovery. And this is another point I'd like to highlight to you guys, that we're talking about economic recovery and protectionism as a tool for recovery. We're not talking about a stopgap political measure, which is effectively what these bailouts in the form of protectionism are. So let's talk about now our substantive, because in my substantive material, I'm going to tell you how protectionism actually wastes money of the government and of taxpayers in this case that could actually have been put to better use. Because what we need to recognize is that even if this bailout is centered only on America, even if you want to contextualize this debate only to America, you first of all do one thing to America itself. You first of all close off the American market to the global market. Intrinsically there is a message that is sent that you need to buy American, that it has to be import substitution, that we just generally would not really look favorably towards Toyota and Honda, for example, setting up in America and trying to actually have more efficient modes of production. So that's the first level of harm of protectionism that I've already talked about, that it shuts out your domestic industry and your domestic production to players that might be more efficient simply because they are foreign, and we think that that's bad. Go ahead.
Madam Lion, since you have agreed with us that the whole idea of protectionism is by the form of government payout, and since you have disagree with our policy, so what kind of solution can you do to actually save the economy?
Well, we think that the kinds of policies that we see in every other country in the world except America would work, just fine in getting economies out of recession. We think that policies of stabilizing employment in industries that actually have strategic value to the future, that's fine. We think that encouraging more trade and not encouraging import substitution, making sure that the demand, that the excess production that you have in your domestic market is soaked up by the international market, is again a strategic thrust that a lot of countries have taken. So just because America does that really doesn't mean that there is no alternative. We look to America, to Europe and Asia for all the other alternative strategies that we see today. So let's go back to what I was telling you about. The fact that at the end of the day you have a smaller domestic market, and we think that that's dangerous. But more than that, ladies and gentlemen, even if your bailouts or your protectionism is confined to America, what you see is that there is still a very, very strong backlash and domino effect that affects other countries. Because of the fact that America has protected the automobile industry, what we see is that China is also now protecting the automobile industry. And we think that that's dangerous because it promotes a very antagonistic stance of how to deal with this global crisis in terms of actually recovering. And we think that we need cooperation rather than antagonism between these two very big giants. The second thing we need to recognize also is that protectionism is very self-perpetuating. There is no yardstick for that side of the house for when exactly this thing is going to end, when exactly will we have recovered from the crisis. And we think that a continued protectionism or a continued investment in certain companies is going to be very bad for the government, because you just don't have the kind of sustainable resources to keep propping up industries that should have died out, for example, the automobile industry. And on the third level, just very quickly, we also need to recognize that there are stimulus packages and there's stability in other countries that you can benefit from. The fact that India's and China's banking industry is stable is something that the American and European industry should leverage on, and that's not a protectionist stance.